The intersection of current events and ancient prophecies has long fascinated both scholars and laypeople. One debated topic is whether Russia's military presence in Syria aligns with the prophecy in Ezekiel 38. This passage describes a coalition led by Gog invading Israel in the end times. Some theologians link Rosh in the text to Russia, fueling speculation about its prophetic role. Russia's involvement in Syria has intensified these discussions. The proximity of Syria to Israel adds intrigue to the scenario. As we explore, we'll examine the prophecy, religious perspectives, and current events to understand if Russia's actions could be a prelude to a prophetic war. Ezekiel 38 is a cornerstone of eschatological studies, often cited when discussing potential future conflicts involving Israel. This chapter of the Bible describes a mysterious figure named Gog from the land of Magog, who will lead a coalition of nations against Israel. The prophecy lists several allies, including Persia, which is modern-day Iran, Kush, Put, Gomer, and Togarmah, which many scholars associate with regions surrounding Israel. The identity of Gog and the location of Magog have been subjects of intense debate among theologians and historians. Some interpretations suggest that Magog represents a region north of Israel, which has led to the speculation that Russia could be involved. The mention of Rosh in some translations has further fueled this theory, with some scholars proposing that it refers to Russia. This interpretation, however, is not universally accepted and remains a topic of scholarly debate. The prophecy predicts that this coalition will mount a massive invasion against Israel, only to be defeated by divine intervention. This dramatic scenario has captured the imagination of many, leading to various interpretations and predictions about its potential fulfillment. While some see it as a literal future event, others view it as a symbolic representation of broader spiritual battles. Understanding the prophecy of Ezekiel 38 requires careful consideration of historical and contemporary contexts. As we explore this topic further, we will examine how different religious traditions interpret this prophecy and its potential implications for current geopolitical events. The prophecy of a great battle involving Israel is not exclusive to the Bible. Similar themes appear in other religious texts, such as the Quran, Hadith, and Jewish Midrash. These traditions offer their own perspectives on end-time scenarios, often involving a coalition of nations against Israel. In Islamic eschatology, the Hadiths describe events that parallel the Gog and Magog narrative, though the identities of the nations involved are not specified in the same detail as in Ezekiel 38. The Hadiths speak of widespread chaos and a final battle, with the forces of good ultimately triumphing over evil. The concept of Gog and Magog, or Yajuj and Majuj in Arabic, is also present, though interpretations vary widely among Islamic scholars. Jewish Midrashic literature provides additional insights, often elaborating on the biblical texts with allegorical and moral interpretations. The Midrash emphasizes the moral and spiritual dimensions of the conflict, focusing on the ultimate redemption and the coming of the Messiah. These religious perspectives, while distinct, share common themes of a climactic battle and divine intervention. They reflect the deep-seated belief in a future resolution of the world's conflicts centered around the land of Israel. As we continue to explore the potential connections between these prophecies and current events, it is important to consider these diverse interpretations and their implications. Recent developments in Syria have significantly altered the geopolitical landscape. Satellite imagery and reports from December 2024 indicate a notable shift in Russia's military posture. Instead of building up forces, as some had speculated, there is evidence of a withdrawal or consolidation of Russian military assets. This includes the departure of warships from Tartus port and the staging of military vehicles for transport out of the region. Analysts suggest that these movements are part of a larger strategic realignment following the collapse of the Assad regime in December 2023. The overthrow of Bashar al-Assad led to significant changes in the balance of power, prompting Israel to conduct Operation Bashan Arrow, which dismantled much of Syria's military capabilities. In this context, Russia's actions appear to be more about repositioning than preparation for an invasion. The shift in Russia's military focus from Syria to other regions, such as Libya, also highlights a broader strategic recalibration. This move suggests a prioritization of interests in Africa, where Russia is expanding its influence. As we analyze these developments, it becomes clear that the current evidence does not support the theory of an imminent Russian-led invasion of Israel from Syria. Understanding these military movements is crucial for assessing the likelihood of a prophetic war scenario. While the situation remains fluid, the current trajectory points towards a retreat rather than an escalation in Syria. As Syria's future grows uncertain, Russia is shifting its focus from Syria to Libya and Africa. The expansion of Libya's Matan al-Sara air base marks this new strategy. Russian forces and private military companies are now active across the region. Moscow is recalibrating its military and political priorities. This realignment aims to expand Russian influence in resource-rich regions. The balance of power in the Middle East and Africa is shifting. The question of whether Russia is preparing to invade Israel from Syria remains a topic of speculation and debate. While the prophecy of Ezekiel 38 describes a future invasion, the current evidence does not support the notion that Russia is actively preparing for such an event. Instead, the recent military movements suggest a withdrawal and realignment of forces. The strategic shift to Libya and Africa further complicates the narrative. This move indicates a prioritization of other geopolitical interests over a direct confrontation with Israel. The collapse of the Assad regime and the subsequent changes in Syria's political landscape have likely influenced Russia's decision to focus its resources elsewhere. It is important to consider the broader geopolitical context when analyzing Russia's intentions. While the potential for conflict in the region remains, the current trajectory suggests that Russia is more focused on consolidating its influence in Africa than on initiating a prophetic war against Israel. This strategic realignment underscores the complexity of the geopolitical landscape and the need for careful analysis of Russia's actions and intentions. As we explore these developments further, it is essential to remain open to new information and interpretations. The situation in the Middle East is fluid, and the potential for change is always present. By staying informed and engaged, we can better understand the implications of these events and their potential alignment with biblical prophecy. While Russian forces appear to be withdrawing from Syria, questions remain about Syria's future as a potential staging ground for military operations against Israel. Its strategic location and proximity to Israel keep it in focus for analysts and prophecy watchers. Though Russia's attention may be shifting elsewhere, future re-engagement in Syria can't be ruled out. The Middle East's changing alliances and conflicts mean new scenarios are always possible. Staying informed helps us understand the broader implications for global strategy and prophecy. In the face of uncertainty and complexity, it is essential to seek wisdom and peace. The current geopolitical landscape, with its shifting alliances and potential for conflict, calls for careful consideration and thoughtful reflection. As we explore the potential connections between current events and biblical prophecy, it is important to approach these topics with an open mind and a spirit of discernment. Let us pray for wisdom to understand the complexities of the world around us and for peace to guide our actions and decisions. May we seek clarity in the midst of uncertainty and find hope in the promise of a future where conflicts are resolved and peace prevails. As we navigate these challenging times, let us also pray for the leaders and nations involved in these geopolitical dynamics. May they be guided by wisdom and compassion, seeking solutions that promote peace and stability. In our pursuit of understanding and insight, let us remain committed to the values of faith, hope, and love. As we conclude this exploration of the potential connections between Russia's military movements and biblical prophecy, we invite you to stay informed and engaged. The geopolitical landscape is ever-changing, and new developments could provide further insights into the alignment of current events with ancient predictions. We encourage you to like, share, and join our community for more prophecy updates and analyses. By staying connected, you can remain informed about the latest developments and their potential implications for the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Together, we can explore the complexities of the world around us and seek understanding in the midst of uncertainty. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery. We look forward to continuing this conversation and exploring the fascinating intersections of faith, prophecy, and current events.